I'm sitting in the dim glow of our living room, the kind of light that makes everything feel heavier than it should. The clock on the mantel ticks past midnight, each second a small accusation. Claire isn't home. She hasn't been home by this hour for weeks now, and I'm not naive enough to believe her excuses anymore. Book club, she says, or late yoga class, or drinks with the girls. But the girls don't call her as much anymore, and the library's online catalog shows she hasn't borrowed a book in months. I checked. I'm not proud of it, but I checked. My name's Ethan, and I've been married to Claire for 12 years. We met in college, back when she was this whirlwind of a woman. Curly auburn hair that seemed to have a life of its own. A laugh that could pull you out of any bad day. She was studying art history, and I was grinding through an engineering degree. We were opposites in all the ways that made sense, the kind of couple people looked at and thought, they'll make it. We did for a while. 2 kids, Lila, 9, and Max, 6. A house in the suburbs with a maple tree out front that turns blood red every fall. A life we built brick by brick. But lately, those bricks feel like they're crumbling, and I'm standing here watching the dust settle. Tonight, I'm holding a glass of bourbon, though I'm not much of a drinker. It's more for the weight of it in my hand, something to ground me while my mind spirals. Claire's been different for months. Distant, distracted. Her eyes always flicking to her phone like it's a lifeline. I didn't want to believe it could be what it seems. Infidelity, it's the kind of word that feels like it belongs to other people's lives, not ours. But the signs are there, piling up like unpaid bills. Her new perfume, sharp and unfamiliar, lingers on her clothes. The way she locks her phone now, when she used to leave it face up on the counter. The late nights, the vague explanations, the way she flinches when I touch her shoulder sometimes, like she's forgotten how to be close to me. I set the bourbon down and rub my temples. The kids are asleep upstairs, their soft snores a reminder of what's at stake. Lila's got her mother's curls, Max her sharp green eyes. They're the reason I haven't confronted her yet. I keep thinking maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's stress from her job at the gallery, maybe it's me not being present enough. But deep down, I know. I've known since I found that receipt in her purse 2 weeks ago. Dinner for 2 at La Belle Vie, a restaurant we've never been to together, on a night she said she was working late. I looked up the place. It's not the kind of spot you go to with a coworker. Candlelit tables, wine lists longer than a novel, the kind of place you take someone you want to impress. I tried to let it go. I told myself it could be innocent, a client, a friend, a mistake. But then I saw the text. Just one, caught by chance when her phone lit up on the kitchen counter while she was in the shower. Asterisk can't wait to see you again. Same place. Asterisk no name, just a number. I didn't memorize it. I didn't need to. It was enough to crack something inside me, something I've been trying to hold together for too long. Tonight, I'm done waiting for her to come clean. I'm done pretending I don't see the way she's slipping away. I pull my laptop onto the coffee table, the screen casting a cold blue light across the room. My fingers hesitate over the keys, but I type anyway, searching for the number from that text. Reverse lookup sites are a dime a dozen, and I pick one that doesn't look like it'll infect my computer with a virus. The results load slowly, each second stretching my nerves thinner. Finally, a name, Daniel Carver. No address, no other details, just a name that hits like a punch to the gut. I know that name. He's her boss at the gallery, the guy with the slick suits and the too white smile, the one who always seems to stand a little too close to her at work events. I lean back, my breath shallow. Daniel. Of course it's him. I've met him a handful of times, gallery openings, holiday parties. He's got that kind of charm that feels practiced, like he's always performing for an audience. Claire used to laugh about it, call him the art world's used car salesman. But now I'm replaying every interaction, every time she mentioned him in passing, every late night she said was spent cataloging new pieces with him. The pieces start to fit, and I hate how clear the picture is becoming. I close the laptop and pace the room, my socks silent on the hardwood. The house feels too big, too empty without her here. I think about the kids, about what this will do to them if it's true. Lila's old enough to sense something's wrong. She's been quieter lately, her drawings darker, all sharp angles and stormy skies. Max is still too young to understand, but he clings to Claire when she's home, like he's trying to keep her from disappearing. I can't let this go on. I can't keep living in this limbo, waiting for her to choose between us and whatever she's chasing with him. I grab my phone and scroll through our texts, looking for something, anything, that feels like the Claire I married. There's not much. Our conversations are practical now, schedules, grocery lists, reminders about parent-teacher conferences. But there's one from a year ago, a random Tuesday when she sent me a photo of her and the kids at the park, all three of them laughing in the sunlight. "Miss you today," she wrote. I stare at it until my eyes burn, trying to remember what it felt like to be that man, the one she missed. The front door clicks open and I freeze. Her heels tap against the foyer tiles, a sound I used to love, now sharp as a warning. "Ethan?" she calls softly, like she's hoping I'm asleep. I don't answer right away. I'm not sure I can trust my voice. She steps into the living room, her coat still on, her hair slightly mussed, like she's been running her fingers through it. She looks beautiful even now, and that makes it worse. "You're up," she says, her smile tight, practiced. "Everything okay?" I nod, my jaw clenched. "Just couldn't sleep." "Where were you?" She hesitates just a fraction of a second, but I catch it. "Yoga ran late, and then we grabbed a drink after. You know how it is." I don't know how it is, but I nod again, letting the lie sit between us. She doesn't meet my eyes as she slips off her coat and heads toward the stairs. "I'm exhausted," she says over her shoulder. "See you in the morning?" "Yeah." I manage, my voice steady enough to hide the storm inside me. She disappears upstairs, and I'm left with the bourbon and the truth I can't unsee. She's cheating, with Daniel Carver, and I'm not going to let it slide. The next morning, I'm up before the kids, making pancakes like it's any other Saturday. Claire comes down in her robe, her hair damp from the shower, and for a moment it feels normal. Lila's chattering about her science project, Max is spilling syrup on his pajamas, and Claire's sipping coffee, smiling at them like she's fully present. But I see the cracks. Her phone is face down on the table, her fingers twitching toward it every few minutes. I wonder if he's texting her, if he's waiting for her to slip away again. After breakfast, I tell her I'm heading to the hardware store. It's a lie, but she doesn't question it. I drive to the gallery instead, parking across the street where I can see the entrance. It's a sleek building, all glass and sharp angles, the kind of place that screams money and pretension. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe Daniel, maybe Claire, maybe some proof that I'm not losing my mind. I sit there for an hour watching people come and go, until I see him. Daniel Carver, in a tailored blazer, talking on his phone as he steps outside. He's laughing, carefree, like he doesn't know he's tearing my life apart. I grip the steering wheel, my knuckles white. I want to get out, confront him, demand answers. But I don't. Not yet. I need to be sure, and I need a plan. Revenge isn't something you rush into. It's something you build, piece by careful piece, until it's undeniable. I start the car and drive home, my mind already turning over possibilities. I've always been good at solving problems, at taking complex systems and making them work. This is no different. Claire and Daniel think they're playing a game I don't know about. They're wrong. Over the next few days, I start gathering evidence. It feels dirty, like I'm betraying her by digging into her life, but she's the one who broke the rules first. I check her phone when she's asleep, using the passcode she hasn't changed since we got married. There are no texts from Daniel anymore. She's deleted them, or maybe they're using an app one don't know about. But there's an email, buried in her trash folder, from a burner account. Asterisk meet me at the usual spot. 8 p.m. Asterisk no signature, but I know who it is. I take a screenshot and email it to myself, then delete the evidence from her phone. I also start tracking her movements. She doesn't know I've enabled location sharing on her phone, a feature we set up years ago for safety. It's easy enough to check where she's been, and the data confirms what I suspected: late nights at the gallery, yes, but also visits to a boutique hotel downtown, the kind of place you don't go for a business meeting. I cross-reference the dates with her excuses, and they don't line up. The hotel's website boasts discreet luxury, and I feel sick imagining her there with him. By the end of the week, I have enough to confront her, but I don't. Confrontation would be too easy, too quick. She'd cry, maybe confess, maybe promise to change. But promises don't undo betrayal, and they don't erase the image of her with him, laughing over wine while I'm home with the kids. No, I want something that hurts like this hurts, something that makes them both feel the weight of what they've done. I'm not a violent man. I've never raised a hand to anyone, but there are other ways to break someone, ways that last. I start researching Daniel Carver. His LinkedIn profile is a shrine to his ego: art dealer, curator, visionary. He's got connections all over the city, clients with deep pockets, a reputation for getting what he wants. But everyone has weaknesses. I dig deeper, pulling up public records, social media, anything I can find. There's a pattern. Complaints about his business practices, whispers of shady deals, clients who felt cheated but never pressed charges. He's careful but not careful enough. I find an old article about a gallery he worked at before, shut down after allegations of selling forgeries. Nothing was ever proven, but the smoke is there, and where there's smoke, there's fire. I also find his address. A loft downtown, expensive but not ostentatious. I drive by one evening just to see it. The lights are on, and I wonder if she's there, if they're together right now. The thought makes my stomach churn, but it also sharpens my resolve. I'm not just going to expose them. I'm going to dismantle their world, piece by piece, until they have nothing left to hide behind. Back home, I start sketching out a plan. It's not fully formed yet, but the pieces are coming together. I'll use Daniel's own ambition against him, his reputation, his need to be seen as untouchable. And Claire, she'll feel it too, not just the shame of being caught, but the loss of everything she thought she could keep. I'm not sure how far I'll go, but I know one thing. When I'm done, they'll wish they'd never crossed me. The days bleed into weeks, and I'm living a double life now. By day, I'm Ethan the dad, flipping pancakes, helping Lila with her fractions, and reading Max bedtime stories about dragons and knights. By night, I'm something else, someone I don't fully recognize. A man consumed, piecing together a plan so intricate it feels like I'm wiring a circuit board, every connection deliberate, every move calculated to carry a charge. Claire doesn't notice the change in me. She's too wrapped up in her own secrets, her smiles too quick, her excuses too polished. I let her think she's safe. That's part of the game. I've spent hours digging into Daniel Carver's life, and it's dirtier than I expected. His gallery, Carver Fine Arts, is a glossy front for a man who plays fast and loose with ethics. Public records show he's been sued twice, once for misrepresentation of a painting's provenance, once for failing to pay an artist for a consigned piece. Both cases settled out of court, which means he's got enough money or charm to make problems disappear. But there's a trail, and I'm following it. I find a disgruntled former employee, Sarah, on a forum for art world insiders. Her posts are vague but bitter, hinting at irregularities in Daniel's books. I create a burner email and reach out, posing as a concerned collector. She's cagey at first, but after a few exchanges, she opens up. He's a snake, she writes. Inflates appraisals, schemes commissions, and worse. Check his offshore accounts if you want the real story. Offshore accounts. That's the kind of phrase that sets my engineer's brain alight. I'm no hacker, but I know systems, and money always leaves a trace. I spend nights learning about financial forensics, poring over articles about shell companies and tax havens. I don't have the tools to crack open Daniel's finances myself, but I don't need to. I just need enough to plant a seed. I contact a private investigator, a guy named Tom who comes recommended by a coworker who used him during a messy divorce. Tom's expensive, but he's discreet, and he doesn't ask too many questions. I give him Daniel's name, the gallery's details, and Sarah's tip about the offshore accounts. Find something I can use, I tell him. He nods, his face unreadable, and says he'll call when he's got something. While Tom works, I turn my attention to Claire. I need to know how deep this goes, how much she's invested in Daniel. I start small, testing her reactions. One night, over dinner, I mention a colleague who got caught cheating on his wife. Can you imagine? I say, watching her face. Throwing away a family like that. Her fork pauses midair, and her eyes flick to me, then away. People make mistakes, she says, her voice too casual. Doesn't mean they don't love their family. I nod like I agree, but inside, I'm cataloging every word, every microexpression. She's not just cheating. She's justifying it to herself. I keep tracking her movements through her phone's location data. The boutique hotel, the Astor, shows up again and again. I call the place, pretending to be a prospective guest, and charm the desk clerk into revealing their booking system. No names are attached to reservations, just room numbers and dates, but I cross-reference the dates with Claire's late nights. It's a match. I could confront her now, show her the screenshots, the timelines, but that's not enough. I want her to feel the ground shift beneath her, the way I did when I found that text. I start laying the groundwork for my revenge. Daniel's weakness is his reputation. His gallery thrives on trust, on the perception that he's a tastemaker, not a crook. If I can undermine that, I can bring him down without ever raising my voice. I create a fake profile on an art forum, posing as a disgruntled client. I post vague but damning comments about Carver fine arts, hints of overpriced pieces, questions about authenticity. I don't name Daniel directly, just let the whispers spread. The art world is small, and gossip travels fast. I see the posts gain traction, a few collectors chiming in with their own complaints. It's a slow burn, but it's working. At home, I keep up the facade of normalcy. Claire and I still share a bed, though we barely touch. I lie awake, listening to her breathe, wondering how she can sleep so soundly with the lies she's carrying. The kids are my anchor, their laughter the only thing keeping me from spiraling completely. Lila shows me a painting she made at school, a bright swirl of colors that reminds me of Claire's old work, back when she used to paint. I hang it on the fridge, and for a moment, I can almost believe we're still a family. But then Claire's phone buzzes, and she steps into the other room to check it, and the illusion shatters. Tom calls me on a Thursday, his voice low and steady. Got something, he says. Carver's got a shell company in the Caymans. Money's moving through it, big sums, inconsistent with his gallery's reported income. Looks like he's funneling profits to avoid taxes, maybe laundering for a client or two. I've got documents, bank transfers, the works. It's not airtight, but it's enough to raise questions. I tell him to send me everything, and when the files arrive, I spend hours combing through them. Pages of transactions, coded names, dates that align with major sales at the gallery. It's a goldmine, but I need to be careful. If I tip my hand too soon, Daniel could cover his tracks. I decide to escalate. I contact a reporter, Mia Chun, who writes for a local arts magazine. She's got a reputation for digging into shady dealings, and I figure she'll bite. I use another burner email, posing as a whistleblower, and send her a teaser, redacted snippets of Tom's documents, just enough to hook her. Interested in a story about Carver fine arts? I write, there's more where this came from. She responds within hours, asking for a meeting. I decline, keeping it anonymous, but promise more details if she starts digging. I know she will. Reporters like her live for this kind of thing. Meanwhile, I'm planting smaller traps for Claire. I start leaving subtle hints that I know something's off. I mention La Bellevue one night, casually, saying I heard it's a great spot for a date. Her face freezes, just for a second, before she recovers with a laugh. Yeah, it's fancy, she says, changing the subject. I drop Daniel's name into conversations, watching her squirm. Saw him at that charity thing last year, I say. Guy seems like he's always working an angle. She nods, her smile tight, and I know I'm getting under her skin. The kids are starting to notice the tension. Lila asks me one night why mommy's always so busy. I tell her grown-ups have a lot on their minds, but it feels like a lie. Max clings to me more, his small arms wrapping around my leg when I leave for work. I hate that they're caught in this, but I can't stop now. I'm too far in, and the anger is a living thing, driving me forward. I want Claire to feel what I feel, the betrayal, the humiliation, the slow unraveling of everything you thought was yours. I start tailing Daniel myself, just to see how he moves. One evening, I follow him from the gallery to a bar downtown, a sleek place with too many mirrors. He's meeting someone, but it's not Claire, just a client, by the looks of it, an older man in an expensive suit. I watch from a corner booth, nursing a soda, blending into the crowd. Daniel's all charm, leaning in, gesturing with his hands like he's painting a picture. But I notice something. The way his eyes dart to the door every few minutes, like he's expecting someone, or like he's worried. Good. He should be. I'm not just targeting Daniel, though. Claire's part of this, and she's not getting off easy. I start documenting her lies, keeping a detailed log of her whereabouts, her excuses, the discrepancies. I hack into her email. Not hard, since she uses the same password for everything, and find more deleted messages from that burner account. They're careful, never explicit, but the subtext is clear. Asterisk, missed you last night. Let's make it quick next time. Asterisk, I print them out, store them in a locked drawer in my home office. Evidence for when the time comes. The plan is taking shape now, and it's bigger than I first imagined. I'm not just going to expose them, I'm going to make them expose themselves. I start drafting a letter, anonymous, to the gallery's biggest clients. It's subtle, worded like a concerned insider, questioning the authenticity of certain pieces, hinting at financial impropriety. I don't send it yet, but I will once Mia's story gains traction. The goal is to create a domino effect. Clients pull out, the gallery's reputation tanks, Daniel's world collapses. And Claire? She'll be collateral damage, her affair laid bare when the spotlight turns on him. I'm careful to cover my tracks. I use a VPN, burner accounts, nothing traceable to me. I'm not a criminal, but I'm learning how to think like one. Every step is deliberate, every piece of the puzzle slotted into place. I imagine the moment they realize they're caught. Daniel's smug smile fading, Claire's excuses crumbling. I want them to feel hunted the way I've felt for months. At home, I keep playing the part of the devoted husband. I kiss Claire's forehead before bed, tell her I love her, even though the words taste like ash. She says it back, but it's rote, like she's reading a script. I wonder if she's thinking of him when she says it, if she's comparing us in her head. The thought makes me want to scream, but I swallow it down. Patience, I tell myself. Patience is my weapon. One night, I find a new piece of evidence. A hotel keycard in her purse, tucked into a side pocket. The Astor's logo is embossed on it, and the sight of it makes my vision blur with rage. I slip it back where I found it, but I take a photo first. It's another piece of the puzzle, another nail in the coffin I'm building. I don't know how long I can keep this up, this double life of pretending and planning. But I know one thing. When I'm ready, they won't see it coming. And when it hits, it'll hurt. The air in our house feels like it's been holding its breath for weeks, waiting for the moment I pull the pin. It's a Thursday night, and I'm sitting at my desk in the home office, the locked drawer open, a stack of printed emails, screenshots, and Tom's financial documents spread out like a war map. The kids are at my sister's for the weekend. I told Claire it was a chance for them to have fun, but really, I needed them out of the house for what's coming. Tonight, the pieces I've been moving fall into place, and there's no turning back. Claire's out again, her usual late meeting at the gallery, excuse hanging in the air like cheap perfume. I know where she is, the Astor, with Daniel. Her phone's location data confirmed it an hour ago, and I've got the keycard photo burning a hole in my pocket. I've spent months building this, weaving a net so tight they won't slip through. The anger that's been simmering is now a steady boil, but I keep it contained, channeled into precision. This isn't about losing control, it's about taking it back. Mia Chen's article dropped this morning, a 2,000-word exposé on Carver Fine Arts. I'd fed her just enough to spark her curiosity, then more when she started digging. Redacted bank transfers, Sarah's testimony, names of clients who'd quietly complained about overpriced pieces. The headline is brutal. Asterisk, Carver Fine Arts. A house of cards? Asterisk, it questions the authenticity of several high-profile sales and hints at financial irregularities, stopping short of outright accusations but planting enough doubt to rattle Daniel's world. I've been refreshing the art forum all day, watching the buzz grow. Collectors are pulling out of deals. Galleries are distancing themselves, and Daniel's name is trending for all the wrong reasons. I sent the anonymous letter to his top clients yesterday. Time to hit just after the article. It's working, his empire is cracking, and he doesn't even know I'm the one swinging the hammer. But that's only half the plan. Daniel's ruin is professional. Claire's will be personal. I've been careful not to tip her off, keeping my routine steady, my tone even. She thinks I'm oblivious, and that's exactly what I want. Tonight, I'm going to show her she's not as clever as she thinks. I grab my keys, the printed emails, and a USB drive with every piece of evidence I've collected, texts, location logs, the hotel keycard photo, even a grainy security camera still from the Astor's lobby that Tom managed to get, showing Claire and Daniel walking in together, her hand brushing his arm. It's not about proving it to her anymore. It's about making her face it, making her feel the weight of her choices. I drive to the Astor, the city lights blurring past like streaks of guilt. The hotel is all glass and understated elegance, the kind of place that screams discretion for people who need it. I park a block away and walk, my pulse steady but loud in my ears. The lobby is quiet, the clerk barely glancing up as I head for the elevators. I know their room number. Tom got it from a contact at the hotel, a bellhop who didn't mind slipping information for a few $100. Room 412. I take the stairs, not trusting the elevator's cameras, and when I reach the 4th floor, I pause, listening. The hallway is empty, the carpet muffling my steps as I approach the door. I don't knock. I don't need to. I've got the keycard, Claire's keycard. The one I took from her purse and had duplicated at a locksmith's yesterday. I slide it into the slot, the lock clicks green, and I push the door open. The room is dimly lit, a soft glow from a bedside lamp casting shadows on the walls. There on the bed, tangled in each other, too caught up to notice me at first. Claire's hair is splayed across the pillow, Daniel's shirt half unbuttoned, and for a moment, I'm frozen, the reality of it hitting harder than any email or location pin. Then Claire sees me, her eyes widening, her mouth opening in a silent gasp. Daniel scrambles back, his face a mix of shock and defiance, like he's already calculating how to talk his way out. Ethan, Claire breathes, clutching the sheet to her chest. What are you? Don't. I cut her off, my voice low but sharp enough to slice through her words. I hold up the stack of papers, letting them fan out in my hand. Don't lie to me. Not now. Daniel starts to stand, adjusting his shirt, his charm kicking in like a reflex. Look, man, let's just calm down and talk. Sit. I snap, and he does, his jaw tight. I don't care about him right now. This is about her. I toss the papers onto the bed, emails and photos scattering across the sheets. You thought I wouldn't find out? You thought you could keep this from me? From our kids? Claire's face crumples, tears welling up, but I'm not buying it. She reaches for me, her hand trembling. Ethan, please. I didn't mean for. Stop, I say, stepping back. You meant it every time you lied. Every time you left Lila and Max with me to come here. Every time you let him touch you. My voice is steady, but inside, I'm shaking, the hurt and rage clawing at each other. I pull the USB drive from my pocket and hold it up. This has everything. Every text, every hotel visit, every lie. I could send it to your boss, your friends, your parents. I could ruin you both. But I'm not going to. Not like that. Daniel's watching me now, his earlier bravado gone. He knows about the article. I can see it in the way his eyes dart to the papers, the way his hands clench. What do you want, Ethan? He asks, his voice quieter now, like he's finally realized he's not in control. I ignore him and focus on Claire. You're going to come home. You're going to tell the kids you're taking a break from work because you need to focus on family. And you're going to watch Daniel's world fall apart, knowing you helped build it. I turn to him. Your gallery's done. Clients are bailing. The press is sniffing around. And I've got enough on you to make sure the IRS takes a long, hard look at your books. You're finished. Claire's crying now, her hands covering her face. But I don't soften. I can't. Ethan, I'm sorry, she sobs. I didn't want to hurt you. It just happened. It didn't just happen. I say, my voice cold. You chose it, over and over, and now you're going to live with it. I stepped toward the door, pausing to look back at them, her, broken and small, him, pale and silent. You have 1 hour to get dressed and get out. If you're not home by midnight, Claire, I'm filing for divorce tomorrow, and I'll make sure everyone knows why. I leave them there, the door clicking shut behind me. The hallway feels endless as I walk back to the stairs, my heart pounding but my mind clear. I meant what I said. I won't destroy her with the evidence, not publicly. But I'm not done. The real revenge is what comes next, the slow, deliberate dismantling of everything they thought they could keep. Back home, I wait. Claire walks in at 11:47, her face blotchy, her eyes avoiding mine. She doesn't speak, just heads upstairs to our bedroom. I don't follow. I sit in the living room, the bourbon bottle untouched, and check my phone. The art forum is on fire now, posts piling up about Daniel's shady deals, collectors demanding refunds, even a mention of an FBI inquiry. Mia's article has done its job, and my anonymous letter has lit the fuse. By morning, Daniel's gallery will be a pariah, his reputation shredded beyond repair. Over the next week, I watch it unfold. Claire quits her job, citing personal reasons. But I know it's because she can't face the fallout at the gallery. Daniel's name is in the news again, this time linked to a federal investigation into art fraud. Tom's documents, carefully leaked to the right people, have done their work. I don't know if he'll go to jail, but he's radioactive now. Clients gone, investors pulling out, his loft quietly listed for sale. I feel a grim satisfaction, but it's not enough. Not yet. For Claire, the punishment is quieter but sharper. She's home every day, playing the part of the devoted mom. But the kids sense something's wrong. Lila stops showing her drawings. Max asks why mommy cries in the bathroom. I don't tell them the truth. That's her burden to carry. I make her live with it, with the knowledge that I know, that I could still use the evidence if she steps out of line. I don't trust her anymore, and I'm not sure I ever will, but I let her stay for the kids. For now, I meet with a lawyer quietly to prepare. The USB drive is my insurance policy, locked in a safe deposit box. If Claire tries to leave or if she goes back to him, I'll use it. Not to humiliate her, but to protect myself and the kids. I've also started seeing a therapist, someone to help me untangle the rage and grief that still twist inside me. I don't tell Claire. She doesn't get to know me anymore. Months pass, and the dust settles. Daniel's gallery closes, his name a cautionary tale in the art world. Claire stays home, her laughter hollow, her eyes haunted. I'm not cruel to her. I cook dinner, help with the kids, keep the house running. But I'm distant, a wall between us she can't climb. She tries to talk, to apologize, but I shut it down. You made your choice, I say, and that's the end of it. The revenge isn't in the words or the evidence. It's in the life she's trapped in now, a life where she sees me every day, knowing what she's lost. I'm not proud of what I've done, but I'm not sorry either. They took something from me, trust, love, the future I thought we had. I took something back. And as I watch Lila and Max play in the yard, the maple tree turning red again, I know I'll do whatever it takes to protect them, even if it means becoming someone I never thought I'd be.